How's it going? This is Dalen with Grind Time again. I want to do another review. This one on the Bandit 2900T. I got this machine the end of last year. I've been running SGs for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years now. I pretty much owned every Bandit grinder except for like the tow behind models. Nothing against them. I just like self-propelled. But I've been kind of wanting to get this review done. I'll call it a 250 hour review. I got about close to 300 now. I just didn't feel like waiting to get to 500 to do a review then, because I really like the machine and kind of wanted to give my input and thoughts on the machine and what I think about it. This is it. It's a little dirty. It's been rainy, so just haven't been able to keep it clean lately. This is the 122 horse cat engine, diesel. I almost went with the gas, and different people, I went back and forth a bunch of times, and I'm happy I went with the diesel. I would consider getting a gas maybe as another machine, but I definitely would want the diesel option on the 29. And but yeah, I want to get started on this. I think the machine's great. I think it's well built. I haven't had any issues with it. Mechanically, hydraulics, no cracks or anything. I mean, it's only got, again, 300 hours, but figured I'd mention it. It's built pretty stout. Very happy with it. It's got the hydraulic cutter motor. I don't mind it. I like the hydraulic motor. Some people don't because of the power loss. When you got 122 horse in it, I mean, it don't probably much matter. I just don't like belts and bearings. It's not my thing. So this obviously eliminates all that. Very little maintenance. But yeah, we'll start maybe from the wheel and work our way back. I had a green wheel on it up in New York State where I am, on the lakes and the rocks and stuff. Green wheel, just, it doesn't cut it for me. I tried it on different machines, tried it on this one. I yanked it off and gave it away, and now I got my new river on there. The wheel's the cat's ass in my opinion. Holding up good. I will say though, the wear pads compared to my SGs, they go a lot quicker. I'll be changing these pretty soon. These are good. Every other generally wears. They start to arrowhead. So yeah, I'll be popping those off in about another 40-50 hours tops, putting some new ones on. But either way, I like my new river wheel. Talked about the motor, don't mind it. These got a little inside this hub in case you suck up some twine or fabric. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's right down in here. It's like a little tiny edge, like a little knife basically. I think there's 4 of them. You know, if something sucks in there, it tries to cut it and kick it out of there. So that's cool they did that. That needed to happen because the other ones I've had, the 25 and 650s, they didn't have that, and I'd be wiping the seal out in here and replacing it. So that kind of sucked. But no, I haven't had an issue. I don't want to jinx it. So hopefully that stays that way. What was I going to say here? Oh yeah, so yeah, it's got a good cut and height. The chute sets back quite a ways, so that's good. I dig that. It's not too much different from the 25 650, except you know, built stronger, better, longer boom obviously. The wheel's not gigantic. I don't mind that. It doesn't have many lead teeth. As long as they're sharp, even if they're dull, I guess it don't matter. It just cuts good. I don't mind the small wheel. A lot of people criticize it, but it works fine. And it rips and cuts. These bushings, they're starting to wear out pretty good, so I'd say those last anywhere from maybe 200 to 300 hours before you should probably replace them. I'm at the point now where they're getting pretty loose, so I'm getting ready to change them. If you can see the movement, I keep them greased every day, but they are wearing out, so I'll probably be changing those in the next weekend or two. Again, I've had no trouble with the hydraulics. I maintain my stuff pretty well, so I'm sure that helps. It does seem to eat the def. This is my first machine with def, so maybe it's normal, but it does chew it pretty good. It's just part of the deal nowadays with diesels, so just got to get used to that, deal with it, or go gas. Otherwise, yeah, the track wear isn't bad. I mean, these are definitely wearing faster than my SGs. It's a lot heavier of a machine though, 62 or 300 pounds I believe it weighs, so they're not going to last as long. But yeah, I haven't popped one off yet. Hopefully I can keep it that way. But they still got some lug life on them for a while. Yeah, anyways, this thing does not burn any oil whatsoever. Hasn't burnt a drop. Doesn't leak. Purrs like a kitten. It's very quiet. I get a lot of compliments for saying how quiet it is, and that is nice. I mean, you get a lot of baggage up there with the emissions, but whatever, it is what it is. Air filter sets back where it should be, away from the dust down there. The SG, that kind of sits right on top of the motor by the cutter wheel. So the air filters aren't getting plugged up as often, but yeah, overall, so far so good. And the blade is strong, plows stuff out of the way, does a good job. The cylinder should have a longer shaft. I mean, the mount should be up further and maybe have a longer cylinder, because a lot of the times how long this is and where the track sits on the chips, when you bottom the cylinder out, it only reaches so far down, and you end up missing half the chips, and you go back and forth trying to scrape it, and that cylinder could definitely be a longer cylinder. It'd be helpful, but it is what it is. It does its job, and it's not bad if you're on a flat grade. It's just when you're climbing chip piles and trying to grade it out, it does get a little tougher. But either way, it's stout. It's built. It's overbuilt, really. It's like a mini dozer blade. This style actually folds in. You pull these out, and these full in, go through a gate. A lot easier design to suck in the tracks too, with the 2 cylinders. So that is cool. The SG, I definitely fought back and forth a bunch of times trying to get the tracks in, as does everybody else. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. It stays a lot cleaner. Doors come off easy, can't complain. Go on this side, see if I'm missing anything. No, that's pretty much it. They're pretty simple, pretty easy peasy. I had one little O-ring go out in here. Not a big deal, just this fitting, just blew a little O-ring, threw that back in. I think it was loose though, and I just never checked it. Everything's pretty easy to get in there. I will say the hydraulic filters, they're kind of a pain in the butt to change. Pop this off, and then there's your filter housings in there. They are a pain in the butt to change, I'll admit, but you don't have to change them that often. Mainly just, your oil filter changes are a lot more frequent. But yeah, that's about it. I keep my pivot pin in, as should everybody. But yeah, the machine, I think it's a stout machine. I'd have to say it grinds probably, believe it or not, 35 to 45% faster. I mean, I could guarantee it's all of 40 in my opinion. I don't know about the gas option, no idea. But this diesel, it just rips through stuff. I used my SG today on a job because it was a tight job, and not that I wish I had my 2900 on it. It's just I can't believe how much longer it took to grind it versus if my 2900 was there. But the price point is just crazy. They're a lot of money. You can almost own 2 SGs for one of these 2900s. But either way, I'm not complaining. I'm actually kind of jumping at the bit to get another one just to have 2. But it's nice to have the SG for certain situations. It's lighter and smaller, but there's no real comparison. It's got a little bit bigger swing on the SG, but production wise, it's a beast. It just makes stuff disappear fast. Super happy with the machine. Yeah, Bandit nailed it with it. Hopefully, many hours in, I don't have any issues. But yeah, if you got the money and you got the work and you're looking to use a Bandit, machine, and considering a 2900, I definitely would jump on it. That's about it. I don't really have anything bad to say. Small improvement maybe with the chip blade cylinder. Otherwise, great machine, great engine, and hopefully this helps anybody that's, looking for a little insider information. Any thoughts or questions, comments, don't be afraid to ask, and enjoy your day. I forgot to add, so this is a 22 model. Not sure if things changed on the 24s, but I did do a couple small things to it. I can't just not do something. This didn't have this back flap here, and it was a rooster tailing so bad under the carriage here, and then flying out here and just winging stuff. So I added this little flap, and now I know the chips stay more contained in here, and it recycles more, but it just prevents the rooster tail. I think that is definitely a necessity. I don't know if the new ones have it, but mine did not, and neither did my friends. So I assume it's not part of the deal. But yeah, add that. And then not to mention this. So my bolts, my hardware here, was wearing out big time. So when I changed the wheel out, I put new hardware on it, and then I added these little beads. They don't look the prettiest right now, but whatever. They help a lot. They kick the wood that gets stuck in here out. And not only that, but the headwear on the hardware is not wearing barely at all. So I think those little beads are super helpful, especially with the chunks that get stuck in here and start smoking, and you don't know when they're going to fly out. They kind of just kick around and kick out real fast. Super helpful, in my opinion. Figured I'd throw those two in there. And I think other than that, I haven't touched anything, and yeah, that's that.